July 23, 2025 marked a critical day for northern Thailand. Without warning, the rain intensified rapidly, spiraling into a full-blown climate emergency that affected millions. The downpour was linked to the remnants of Typhoon Wipha, which, though weakened, left behind a trail of destruction in the form of widespread flooding and landslides across several provinces. From the day before, skies remained overcast and the first drops began falling over the mountainous districts of Pua, Chiang Rai, and the Luang Pha. What initially seemed like a passing weather event quickly escalated into a serious threat. The rain continued through the night, and by early morning on July 23rd, rivers had already begun to overflow. In many parts of Nan province, water levels reached alarming heights, even submerging the rooftops of vehicles. Streets turned into raging rivers, sweeping away everything in their path, from trees to concrete structures. Districts like Song Kwe, Thung Chong, and Kaloam Phrakiat reported similar conditions, with flooded homes and families trapped inside. Residents in Pua and Chiang Rai witnessed chaotic scenes. Floodwaters surged through gardens and farmland, entering homes with such force that the water reached up to adults' necks. Images shared by neighbors and rescuers painted a harrowing picture. Streets entirely underwater, floating cars, and people signaling for help from rooftops. Authorities reacted quickly. Joint rescue teams began evacuating the hardest-hit areas. Despite the collapse of several access routes, hundreds of trapped people were rescued, many unable to move on their own. Fortunately, no casualties had been reported at that point. Nan City, one of the region's main economic centers, was also hit hard. Overflowing drainage systems caused major flooding in commercial areas, forcing shop owners and residents to build makeshift barriers and move their belongings upstairs. At 9 a.m., a critical structure gave way. The bridge over the Pua River near Ban the Low collapsed under the force of the water, cutting off an entire region. The main road to Chiang Rai became unusable, and the local market was completely submerged. An hour earlier, at 8 a.m., another alert was raised in the Luang Pha. Waters from the Nan River began flooding the district's commercial zone, prompting dozens of families to construct temporary flood walls in a desperate effort to protect their homes and businesses. At 6:30 a.m., a new danger emerged in Bo Kluya district. A landslide in the Safanban Hwai Mi area blocked rural roads, while in Ban Sawaniya, floodwaters destroyed rice fields. Authorities were quickly dispatched to assess the damage and provide support to affected families. In Mueang Nan, the water level at the forestry office reached 6 meters, just shy of the critical mark. Experts warned that if the rain continued, the river would overflow into the city center by midday, which it ultimately did. Nan's mayor, Shurapal Thainsut, stated that the situation was under constant surveillance through coordination with the meteorological department. The growing concern wasn't just the rising water. It was also the increasing risk of landslides and mudflows in the surrounding hills. Local authorities urged residents living in vulnerable areas to evacuate immediately. People were advised to stock up on drinking water, food, medication, and to keep electronic devices fully charged in case of power outages. An alert system was activated across the province. Community loudspeakers, social media, vehicles with megaphones, and official updates kept residents informed 24/7. Reporting channels were opened for people to share information about leaks, blocked roads, or homes in danger. That same day, Pheo province faced its own crisis. In Chiang Rai, floodwaters reached bridges, roads, and hospitals. Tarps and sandbags were deployed to slow the rising water in front of the local hospital, but the current was too strong. At the confluence of the Hizak and Yuan rivers, Ban Phuc Bridge became impassable. Small vehicles were banned from crossing due to the dangerous current, and emergency crews began evacuating the area immediately. Meanwhile, in mountainous zones, water rushed down from the hills like liquid avalanches, invading homes, schools, and public buildings. Entire communities, such as Ban Congo and Jim and Pong district, had to flee their homes within minutes. In Dam Thai district, more than 200 homes were completely flooded. The Ban Pin Nong Lam Road was declared impassable, leaving small vehicles stranded. By 2 a.m., the Lao River in Mao registered 199 millimeters of rainfall and continued to rise. Banong Tam and Rami Yen district experienced a rapid surge in the Yuan River, with rain still pounding the area. In Banong Poi, Phong district, rainfall hit 136 millimeters in 24 hours, an extremely high figure. Over 48 hours, it climbed to 141.5 millimeters. Chiang Rai wasn't spared. Heavy rainfall caused rivers to overflow, affecting farmland and homes. Throwing Hospital was forced to suspend general services and operate in emergency-only mode. Entire communities were relocated to temples and schools for safety. In Dan Hoa, Mayan district, water levels rose to 9.40 meters after 93 millimeters of rain. Nearby villages like Ban Pang Kong and Ban Champi were declared high-risk zones. Even in areas with minimal rainfall, such as Bunga Phabin, alert levels remained elevated. Local governments issued evacuation notices and prepared shelters in schools, temples, and community centers. Authorities emphasized the importance of following pre-established evacuation routes and remaining calm during the crisis. Deputy Minister of Transport Syria Wan Growangit confirmed that all ministry agencies had activated emergency plans. Warning signs were installed, alternate routes were prepared, and workers were dispatched to high-risk roadways and mountain passes. The State Railway of Thailand also launched emergency operations. Drainage efforts along the tracks were intensified, rail lines and signal systems were inspected, and passenger waiting areas were set up in case of service disruption. The Ministry of Public Health, led by Samsak Theepsathan, declared the National Hospital Network on high alert. Emergency medical response centers were activated in Nan, Pheo, and Chiang Rai. In Nan, a specific evacuation plan was put in place for 844 hospitalized patients. The Thai military provided logistical support using specialized vehicles to reach areas where ambulances couldn't pass. As the hours passed, the top priority remained minimizing damage, delivering humanitarian aid, and preventing loss of life. Although no deaths were reported, the damage to infrastructure, agriculture, and daily life was extensive and deeply disruptive.